We're staying in the interface.dwg file, and we're going to take a look in this video at what they call dynamic input, known as DYNMODE, D-Y-N-M-O-D-E. Now, dynamic input has been around for some time in AutoCAD now, and it's incredibly useful. You'll notice on the left-hand side of the drawing area, you can see the AutoCAD crosshair. If I move the mouse, the crosshair moves around. That is my user interface between my mouse, obviously, and AutoCAD. That is the crosshair there, and when I move over the commands on the ribbon, it turns to an arrow. Now, one of the things that appears next to that crosshair is the dynamic input that you're putting into AutoCAD. Now, I'm going to hit escape a couple of times to make sure I've got no commands running. So you'll notice there, can you see the cancel pops up down on the command line down at the bottom of the screen? I'm now going to start typing. So if I type L-I-N-E, you'll notice the dynamic input goes, you're typing, you're inputting a command. So as soon as I do that, the dynamic input gives me a suggestion menu as well, just like the command line does. So it's showing me all the commands now that are available with the word line in them. And I can slide up and down this little slider bar, and there's quite a lot with the word line in them. So I can go and select that command now, click on line there, and just like I did from the command line in the previous video, click, drag the line, click, drag the line, click, and I'll just press enter to finish. You can also right click and select enter on the shortcut menu to close out the line command. So that's a quick and easy way, and I always compare it to watching a foreign language movie. Instead of looking down at the command line at the bottom of the screen at the subtitles all the time, you're actually looking at what you're doing and what's happening on the screen at that given point in time. So that dynamic input is incredibly useful. Now, it's not just picking a point on the screen to draw a line either. If I right click now and repeat that line command, can you see it there on the shortcut menu? Notice when I pick the first point and then drag, can you see it's also giving me the angle of the line and the length of the line. So I can now type in a length of the line. Let's type in, say, 9,000. Can you see that in the input box? If I press the tab key on the keyboard, I can then tab to the angle, type in 45, press enter to finish, and that's my line, 9,000 long at 45 degrees. Press enter again to finish the line command, and I've done that line exactly to the variables I want it using dynamic input. Now that dynamic input is always on by default in a new install of AutoCAD. And my suggestion is get used to it. It's one of the best ways of navigating input using the AutoCAD interface. It's great. And what I love about it is it always picks up when you start typing. So if I type polyline now, notice it's picked up the polyline command and also the polyline edit command there. Now that's on my suggestion menu. It knows that that polyline command is the p-line command, and if I'd typed combine polylines, that would take me into the p-edit, the polyline edit command. I'll just hit escape a couple of times, obviously that'll disappear. But that dynamic input, that DYNMODE, is incredibly useful. Now, you'll notice down on the status bar over on the right here, you've got various little blue icons on. Now, one of the weird things with AutoCAD is dynamic input is not on by default. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use your status bar to your advantage. And what we'll do is we'll make sure that the settings for dynamic input are displayed on the status bar.